Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome. I am so happy to have you all here. Josh, Summer, Stitch, anybody else who's hanging out? It is lovely to have you here. And how is everybody doing today? Stitch, thank you for the warning about a potential Huss in chat. I do see the username. And just out of caution, I'm a bop. God damn it. I actually typed bop instead of ban. Yeah. Unfortunately, that username is now too strongly associated with too many bad things. And I do not want to take a risk. If it's a real person with that name, they can't speak to me for an unban request, and that'll be a whole different situation, because then I'll know they're a real person. But I don't think that's the case. I think this is a situation where we just got a terrible faker. But yeah. Welcome. We're going to be returning to Ace Attorney. And yeah, hopefully we won't go for 4 hours this week. Even though it was fun last week to go longer. I believe you, Stitch, but I'm still glad. Like, you said you were checking for Luca. I thought you said you were checking with Luca. Luca is still cute, even if they're not here. But yes, we're going to return to Phoenix Wright in just a moment. And with all the evidence stacked against Lana Skye, we're going to have to be very creative or very clever. Possibly both, to save her. And let us... let's get going. I am still really loving this game, which shouldn't be a surprise. I've always loved them. Sorry if I sound a little bit distracted today. My neck is a little bit stiff and sore, so that's kind of been bothering me today. And on top of that, I am trying... I've got a weird idea in my head for something I might want to change about my streams. So, we'll see that in the future. Yes, Duck. Please cut off neck to fix. I don't need it anymore. What's it doing? It just keeps my head away from my body. Head and body want to be together. Remove neck. Fix problem. Anyway. No, Luca, I requested that. Also, hi. Yeah, we're going to hop back in here. We're in the middle of the trial. I would definitely not mind. Stitch? Okay. But if you do play it, let me know. Because I would love to come by and watch you and also vote. Enjoy your lurk, Luca. So yes. I eventually just stopped at some reasonable point, I decided last week, because no natural stopping point occurred in, like, the past hour of gameplay. So, we're in the middle of this woman giving another testimony regarding... Yeah, basically, there were 5 minutes when she saw nothing. And this is her explanation of that. I should have mentioned those 5 minutes when I wasn't looking at the crime scene. And now, to the matter of the victim's shoe. Did I not bring this up? You motherfucker! This is not how court works! You have to declare evidence! You can't just pitch up and after several hours of testifying say, oh, also, I found the fucker's shoe. 2 types of blood were found on this shoe. One was, of course, the victim's. And the other blood type matched that of the defendant, Miss Lana Skye. This shoe proves it. It's flawless, decisive evidence. Then why didn't you bring it up earlier, you bitch? I'm immediately angry at this game. What? There was blood found on that shoe? Try Lunchland for all your lunch and decisive evidence needs. You should not be supplying that, man. Witness, what's the meaning of this? I love that Edgeworth is even angry at her. Why is this the first time I've heard of this evidence? Yeah, because normally it's Edgeworth who knows about it and withheld it from Phoenix. Now, she's withholding evidence from him as well, because she hates prosecutors. Simple. As I've already said, I don't trust you with evidence, Mr. Edgeworth. Honestly, a fair position. That's why I took the liberty of investigating this myself. And you had blood tests performed? Didn't I mention? I have 3 boyfriends in forensics. Oh my god, how many boyfriends do you have? I mean, I get it. I get why she can have so many boyfriends, but you also don't need so many boyfriends. In any case, Your Honor, I can't accept this as evidence. What? You must know the 2 rules of evidence law. Oh, now there's fucking laws surrounding evidence? Every other case, we can just, like, kick down the door, burst into court, and say, this dog says she did it! Now there's fucking laws? Bullshit. Rule 1. No evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. Wait, the police department has to approve it? Okay, whatever. In other words, this shoe is illegal evidence. At least for the time being. Is that right, Mr. Wright? Don't ask me! I'm a shark who stole an attorney's badge. It seems so. Edgeworth sure is celebrating. Not so fast, Mr. Edgeworth. Don't forget, I used to be a detective. As I mentioned previously, this shoe has already been tested by a member of the forensics department. As you can see, it was approved by the police department as of today. Even the general public can produce official evidence, Mr. Edgeworth. I don't think that's true, but, you know, go off. Is that right, Mr. Wright? It seems so. Edgeworth is looking pretty sullen. No, Phoenix? That face is not sullen. That face is somewhere between furiously angry and getting sucked off in a wind tunnel. But it's not sullen. You could at least study some evidence law, really. Madam, I am a shark. I have never been a lawyer. I am just fumbling my way through this. The prosecution's complaints notwithstanding, it appears that this evidence satisfies the first law, the first rule of evidence law. I said what I said, Luca. However, seems you have yet another count against you, witness. Anything to ensure that the guilty are properly charged. Wait, are properly judged. White enamel shoe? Can you make shoes out of enamel? That, I guess. Bears traces of blood from Goodman and Lana Skye. Very well, Mr. Wright. You may cross-examine the witness. Yeah, you should have. That's the part I want to focus on. Why did you lie about those 5 minutes? I guess you could say, I just wanted people to look at the results. The results? How many times do I have to say this? I saw the chief prosecutor stab the victim before my very own eyes. Compared to that, a 5-minute blank means nothing. Then why didn't you just tell the truth? Don't make me laugh. We're dealing with the most untrustworthy of the vile lot known as prosecutors. Falsified evidence, arranged testimonies, erasing and manipulating evidence. When you fight monsters, you need to use every trick in the book. This is when the suspect is admitting she did it. But false testimony is the most despicable crime of all, Miss Starr. Let's just get this over with. And now, to the matter of the victim's shoe. Did I not bring this up? And you found this shoe at the scene of the crime? I detained the chief prosecutor and notified the police department. I wanted to make myself useful while I was waiting for the police to arrive. So, like an ill-trained pooch, you snuck off with the shoe. I was afraid someone would erase the chief prosecutor's crime. This shoe was my secret weapon if that should happen. See this fashionable basket I have here? It carries more than lunchboxes, gentlemen. I'm happy for you and your lunchbox bag, really. In any case, you removed valuable evidence from the scene of the crime. Now, tell us what you did next. 2 types of blood. I'm still weirded out by the fact that nobody seems to acknowledge that she took this photo from the other side of the fence. But then somehow arrested this lady. Like, I don't know how that could have happened. Hi, Ophi. So, you brought it to the forensics department? If you're going to submit something as evidence in court, you need it approved. To do that, evidence must be analyzed by a forensics expert. And she got away with her little coup because she used to be a detective. The shoe does appear to have blood stains on it. Well, the man was stabbed after all. And that blood belonged to the victim, Detective Goodman. As I said, there were 2 types of blood found on the shoe. The other blood type matched that of the defendant, Miss Lana Skye. You can't say for sure the blood belonged to the defendant with the blood test. You claim to know something about blood tests, rookie. Huh? Well, speak up. Well, blood comes in 4 types. A, B, O, and AB. I wonder if they're going to mention the rhesus factor. Oh god, Kem! How dare you just arrive in my chat, say nothing, and force me to beam? Yay! Popcorn or rotten egg? Let's find out. Oh! 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 Oh, it smells so bad. Oh, it tastes bad. It smells bad. Oh! Oh, that, rotten egg is real bad. Oh! Anyway, blood comes in 4 types. However, you can't tell from a blood test whether a murder was committed in cold blood. Oh, Phoenix, I adore you. I've got it far away from Gummy. That's just a figure of speech, Mr. Wright. I love that nobody liked his pun. Actually, we can differentiate between millions of types with all the blood tests out there. Which means that we can more or less narrow any sample of blood down to just one person. Oh, Emma, I don't know if you're helping. Or so I hear. That's pretty specific. If I had a little more time, I would have gotten DNA test results. But they said there's very little doubt it could be anyone's but Miss Lana's Skies. So the suspect's blood was found on the victim's shoe. That ties her directly to the death of Detective Goodman. I was afraid he was going to say that. This shoe proves it. It's flawless, decisive evidence. Can't let this evidence go through without a fight. Yep, Paul doesn't lie. Ophi cute. You ordered the peppered fish guts, right? No one ever ordered that! It's not just me, right? Those 3 words are just awful. Peppered fish guts. Some like it hot, Mr. Wright. Some, like your client, she's in enough hot water to make a whole vat of soup. Mr. Wright, do you or don't you have a problem with this shoe? A problem? This is critical. Is there a problem with the victim's shoe? I don't know! Oh, chat, is there a problem with the shoe? Oh, I'm so confused. I mean, this is the last trial. It makes sense that it's difficult. But oh my god, it's difficult. Like, I don't even know if there is a problem, but saying there's a problem gives me more time to sort shit out. Okay, Luca, some people wear white shoes. They shouldn't. But if I'm not imagining things, I'd say there's one critical problem with this evidence. A clear contradiction. That gleam in your eyes. You're still young, rookie. I'd give you peppered fish guts now, but you couldn't take the heat, could you? Let's hear what Mr. Wright has to say. What is contradictory about the victim's shoe? Oh? Oh! You know what? I kind of don't like this. Little bit. Because I don't think there's any way... no, I was gonna say there's no way I could have figured this out beforehand, but I could have looked at the shoe more closely. That's on me, not on the game. But I think the issue is, this is someone who stepped in blood. I wonder if you noticed. There's blood on the bottom of this shoe. Don't mess with me, rookie. or it'll be your blood on the bottom of my shoe. Judge, she just threatened an attorney.
Indeed, there is quite a bit of blood on the bottom of the shoe.
It makes sense. The victim was stabbed with a knife. What could possibly be contradictory about the blood on the bottom of the shoe? I'm going to guess it's something to do with this photo. Doesn't seem to be. Check the autopsy report. One knife wound. That really doesn't tell me much. What the fuck is this important for? It clearly is. It's nothing to do with that. Huh. Huh. Heck, if there's blood on the bottom of the shoe, shouldn't there be footprints? I think. Enjoy your lurk, Luca. The problem lies in the footprint. The footprint? Note the bottom of the victim's shoe is covered in blood. Then, isn't it strange? Why weren't any bloody footprints found by the scene of the crime? As you can see, there were no traces of any such footprints at the scene of the crime. Luca, no one will ever forget so long as you don't let them. That contradicts your claim about this shoe. This picture only shows part of the floor, so there could have been bloody footprints. Then where are they, Mr. Edgeworth? Because we checked the scene and found nothing of the sort.
Order, order, order! Well, witness?
What? Great going, Mr. Wright, but it's true that the lack of a footprint is a contradiction. But then we have to ask why there wasn't a footprint. Because that's not where he was murdered, is gonna be my guess. Oh.
That's true. There has to be a reason why there wasn't a footprint.
Think, Mr. Wright, think. Hey, I don't know why it's not there. I'm just good at finding contradictions. What? I see. Now I get it. Get what? Our witness is more devious than I gave her credit for. We were hoodwinked to the very end. But she slipped. There is one vital hint to the truth in her testimony.
What are you talking about?
Think back to when she told us about apprehending the suspect. The chief prosecutor tried to resist, but her efforts were in vain. She knocked my hands aside, kicked over an oil drum. Oh, she's beautiful but deadly. A predator, this one. A leopard woman. Rawr. I thought that was a strange thing for the normally cool-headed chief to do. No kidding. Now, witness. Allow me to ask a very simple question. This oil drum, was it empty? Oh, that? I'm not sure I like your attitude, Mr. Edgeworth. Though apparently you're not the slowest conveyor belt in the lunchbox factory.
Witness, well, was the oil drum empty?
The oil drum kicked over by the chief prosecutor was brimming with water, so it was a water drum. Water? What does that mean? Still don't get it, Mr. Wright? Do you want to know the reason she knocked it over? The real reason?
Aha! You don't mean...
Yes, the suspect knocked over that oil drum for one reason and one reason alone. To erase the bloodstains that would become evidence against her. I mean, just sloshing water over bloodstains isn't really going to get rid of them, but sure.
That ties things up quite nicely. The bloodstains left on the victim's shoe tie her quite clearly to this murder. And, after the deed was done, she knocked over the oil drum to erase the telltale signs.
Why, that's a prosecutor's specialty. Erasing evidence. That reminds me. Miss Skye's right hand was hurt. She didn't say she'd cut herself when she stabbed him. Oh no, yeah. Didn't she say she'd cut herself when she stabbed him? So that's when my sister's blood got on the shoe?
Well, I see no reason to prolong this trial.
Mr. Wright, do something, please. What? What can I do? Punch the judge! He had it coming! Your sister has confessed to the crime, and she tried to conceal it. But... Enough. There is no need for further debate. The verdict, Your Honor.
Very well.
But Angel Star is on the prosecution's side. It doesn't really matter with the evidence presented. She could have been lying about the water. You've got to prove that. Enjoy, Ophi.
This court finds the defendant, Miss Lana Skye.
Little girl, what did you just say? Huh? Me? Did you say that I, Angel Star, was on the prosecution's side? Well, yeah, you are. You're saying my sister hid evidence by erasing the bloody footprints. Oh my god, Emma's gonna fix this just by being provocative. Well. I thought you'd had your fill, but here you are demanding a second helping. Another lunchbox. A lunchbox called evidence.
Wait! Witness, don't tell me you have something else.
The time for deliberations has passed. Any further comments and you will be held in contempt of court. Not your decision, Edgeworth. Your threats don't scare the cough-up queen. Look at this. Chen! Hello! Yes! Yes, Chen, I wish to see your bread baby. She's an unreliable witness, but she gives dang good evidence. I had it just in case anyone had the gall to suggest that the white shoe didn't belong to the victim. Everybody! Take a look at Chen's bread baby. I won't be able to show it on stream because I don't have my browser everything set up. But Chen, that looks so good! What kind of bread is that? It looks kind of like, what's it called? I don't remember the name of the bread. But it's good bread. It's the kind they give you... Focaccia, that's the one. Ooh, slice that up. Slice that up, dip it in some good olive oil with some salt and butter. Salt and pepper. Mmm. That looks so good, Chen.
I see no room for error in this evidence.
That's really good, Chen. Mr. Wright, wait. Look at the asphalt in this photo. Hey, it's clearly wet. Is it? I can't see because you're covering up the actual photo. I can't tell that the asphalt is wet because you're covering up the photo.
Erasing the last trace of doubt from the court's mind. Immediately after the murder, the crime scene was washed with water.
I'm sorry, Mr. Wright. I guess I couldn't help after all. Except you totally could, because this proves that the ground was wet before that photo was taken. It's not your fault. I knew I couldn't win this case from the beginning. And it seems this is what your sister wanted anyway. Oh no, wait, if that photo was taken afterwards, then that just proves that the barrel was knocked over. Okay, that doesn't actually help. I'm sorry, Mia. Right. Wet or not. Don't be so quick to throw in the towel. Okay, if the towel is wet, you throw it in to the laundry. God, Mia. Whoever taught you how to do your own laundry? What the fuck? Get yourself up off the asphalt, take another good look. Don't give up, not until the bitter end. This is the last piece of evidence.
Very well. This time I'd like to declare a verdict for good.
Your Honor, wait.
What is it with you people? Can't I hand down my verdicts in peace anymore?
Actually feel for the judge.
Whatever it is, can it wait?
No, I need to go to the bathroom real bad. No, it can't. Then it'll be too late. Look at this photograph. Every time I do, it makes me laugh. The last one submitted. This trial isn't over until we give each piece of evidence proper consideration. So, Wright, are you saying there's a problem with this latest piece of evidence? Yeah, I'll think later. Yeah, there's a problem. Right or wrong, I've got to go ahead with this. I mean, I did see what the issue was, but
I suppose since you've come this far, we should give every claim a fair shake. Very well, Mr. Wright. Show the court the problem in this photograph.
There's something in the tailpipe. Tailpipes are also called mufflers. When Lana Sky was talking about muffler, I think that's what she was talking about. God, they really put a lot of attention into drawing that man's toes. The problem in this photograph is here. What's this? There's something poking out of the car's muffler.
Wait just a moment, Mr. Edgeworth.
Your Honor?
You just said muffler. However, I see no trace of a muffler or scarf of any kind in this photograph.
A muffler is also a part on a car or motorcycle, Your Honor. Just think of it as part of the exhaust system. A pipe.
I see, and I see. What's that suspicious-looking cloth sticking out of the car's muffler?
So what if there is something sticking out of the muffler? What does that have to do with this case? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Sorry, Miss Starr, but it's not going to be that easy. In fact, you've already told us why this is important to the case. You said as much in your testimony. You know what? That's probably what it is, Josh. There's probably a muffler in the muffler, so we can muffler while we muffler. God, that was hard to say. What?
Let's hear what Mr. Wright has on his mind. Tell us why you think this piece of cloth in the muffler is related to this case.
It's due to what she said earlier about the muffler and where her muffler is. Where is her scarf? Well, Your Honor, how do you feel about that? Oh? I have this pounding headache. No, I meant, what do you think about the...
I'm afraid the reason for that headache is you, Mr. Wright.
I thought I was on the right track. That cloth was found in the car's muffler, right? Muffler, muffler. Where have I heard that word recently? Okay, I thought it was that, because... Oh! Well, I'm a dingus. The word muffler was overheard during a call. I had the right piece of evidence in mind, or the right idea. Just the wrong thing. Miss Starr, recall your testimony for the court. When I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler. That's what had me confused in my earlier testimony. Muffler. Ugh. Ugh. Could it be that the muffler you heard mentioned was actually this exhaust pipe? If so, that means this piece of cloth is vital evidence. Oh, I don't know how to pronounce that.
Well, it seems we will have to suspend the proceedings.
Suspend?
I find myself wondering about that piece of cloth. If we leave any unanswered questions here, we do a disservice to the law. Have the car at the crime scene inspected at once, and bring me that cloth. The verdict will wait until after we've seen all of the evidence. Agreed?
I suppose so. Whew. That was close. But we made it. At least for now.
This court will adjourn for a 30-minute recess. It's lunchtime, after all.
He's still hungry? Dude's had like 6 lunches already. Mr. Wright? Huh? What? Are trials always like this with you? Oh yeah, I am deeply incompetent. I fly by luck and not by skill. Like you're swimming up from the bottom of a lake about to reach the surface, but no matter how hard you paddle, you never seem to get there. Yeah, and then Edgeworth kicks me in the face and makes me go deeper. Pretty much. Except today we're swimming in quicksand. So what happened to your sister anyway? Apparently she got called off to the judge's chambers. Probably something to do with that piece of cloth. So, this is where we turn this trial around, right? Our only weapon is a tiny, insignificant piece of cloth. I'm the one who's starting to feel tiny and insignificant, to tell the truth. Hold up, partner. They say you show a red cloth to a bull, it'll fire up its temper. As
That's what they told me when I was a youngin', at least.
Officer Marshall.
Thought I'd come take a look-see at how the trial's going. Looks like I'm late. They've got the home ranch locked down tighter than fought in enemy territory. That hard to slip out, huh?
What is going on over there anyway? Sir! Sir, you're dropping your stubble on the floor. Someone's gonna have to clean this lobby. Sir, please! All the police I've seen these last 2 days have been really on edge.
But you got enough on your plate without worrying about other people, compadre? Could be worrying about the chief prosecutor's taste in mufflers, for example.
Officer Marshall? The whole muffler thing didn't have anything to do with scarves. She wasn't even wearing a scarf.
Don't say. Now don't that just beat all? I've seen the red breeze blow at her slender neck many a time. Saw it that day, too. She was wearing a red muffler.
What?
At the award ceremony that afternoon. Edgeworth seen it too, I reckon.
What does that mean? In the photograph taken at the crime scene, she wasn't wearing a scarf. So, Miss Starr wasn't mistaken.
Well, it's about time. Remember, partner, sometimes you gotta grab the bull by the horns. Sometimes you just gotta let that bull go where it will. Time will tell.
I don't know if I like you or not. But you're certainly not evil, at least, which puts you, like, way above many of the other characters. No, Jen, no need to apologize. Have good lunch and enjoy your bread. I have a bad feeling about this. So, what are we swimming in now, Mr. Wright?
If it's steak sauce, I can hook you up with some fine ribs.
Ooh-wee! Swimming in steak sauce sounds terrible.
I'd like to resume?
What's up? The judge keeps looking over at the prosecution.
Is something wrong, Mr. Edgeworth? Face is blue, your lips are purple, you're sweating bullets. That furrowed brow, those grinding teeth, those watery eyes. What's more, your eyes are unfocused, you're doubled over, your back is bent.
It can't be. This can't happen. I wonder what happened to Mr. Edgeworth.
Well then, I believe it is time we continued on with this trial.
Oh, Luca, the use of the word doublet was just so perfect there.
During our recess, I had requested that the prosecution conduct an investigation.
This is unacceptable.
Seems our prosecutor is quite beside himself.
Excuse me? Knock knock?
Who's there?
Excuse me, sir! What's with this guy? Oh my god! Just take a moment. Drink it all in. He is a lot. A strange, stuffy aura seems to be filling the courtroom. You know what, Luca? Yes. I'm going to say straight up, he is a supervillain. That's not his role in this story, but yes, he has killed several people in order to antagonize a superhero and try to reveal his weakness. Hey, the temperature rose 5.7 degrees when that man came in. Who on earth is he?
Oh, it's you!
Say something, dude! Don't just blink at me.
Oh, haha! Sorry I'm late, Archie. The roads were packed. It's just me.
What the fuck?
Long time no see, eh, Archie? How you been? Swim much these days? Hello. No, I've been so busy. Busy? Busy smizzy, Archie, my boy. You have to make time to relax. Yes, indeed.
G seems to be his nickname for the judge? I'm afraid you're right. Very afraid. Sorry, but who are you?
Aha! So you're Righto, the attorney. I've heard good things about you, son.
Thanks?
So sorry about our little worthy giving you all that trouble, eh? You know, we should all go swimming together sometime. Surely.
Little Worthy?
Mr. Wright, you don't know the district chief of police?
No, fuck you. He is not the chief of police. Chief of police?
He's the top-ranking police officer in the entire district. Name's Gant, Damon Gant. Nice to meet you, everyone. So, to what do we owe this honor today? It's been over 2 years since you last came to this courtroom, hasn't it? Well, it's worthy here. Look at the poor fellow. I just thought I'd help out by bringing this.
Hey, that's my sister's muffler. So Miss Star wasn't just seeing things. When the crime occurred, Miss Sky really was wearing that muffler.
What do you think? That it was stuffed into that exhaust pipe? On Little Worthy's car, no less. It's really quite embarrassing, even for us.
What is? I'm assuming that's a switchblade.
What's this? It's what you'd call a switchblade knife. Quite perplexing, this is.
Chief, what kind of outfit are you running?
Mr. Edgeworth?
How could they miss such a vital piece of evidence? If your investigators are this lax, how do you expect us to do our job?
Now, wait a minute, Worthy.
I've no desire to hear your excuses.
I'm telling you to wait.
Or didn't you hear me?
Have a look at this document, where it says person in charge of investigation. There's no mistaking that signature, is there? Miles Edgeworth?
Oh, so he is a villain. Heck! Heck, chair! Hello! Luca? Wait, Luca's asleep. Or lurking. Chair, hello! How are you, and how was your... did I see that it was an inversion randomizer? Or some shit like that? Also, thank you, Luca. How did it go? And yes, Chair is a cutie. We're currently talking to this man, who is the fucking chief of police. A 9-person key sanity rando? That is absurd, Chair. That must have been... I cannot imagine how intense that must have been. I'm glad you had fun. That's not fair. On the day of the crime, I had... What is a Triforce Key Sanity Hunt?
You're head in the clouds because you got that award. I know how you feel. But you're the person in charge. I'll expect a written apology.
Oh, you dick bag. You bag of dicks. What? Are you serious?
Don't be too upset. We'll find a way to clean up this mess that you made.
Triforce Hunt is a weird mode where there are Triforce pieces scattered around and each player needs to get 20 pieces. Then you can end the game. That's really interesting. This is the first time I've seen Mr. Edgeworth at a loss for words.
This kind of major blunder is unlike you, Mr. Edgeworth. The court accepts this new evidence. But I'd like to ask the defense a favor first.
Yes?
Just to be sure. I'd like to take a look at the blade of this knife.
The blade, Your Honor? Well, I don't see why not.
Would you open it up for me, I wonder?
Yes. Well, I think all I have to do is push that switch and...
I'll cut my finger, Mr. Wright. I wouldn't be able to pound my gavel anymore.
Yeah, but if I cut my finger, I won't be able to point it at people anymore. Come on, just hurry up and open it. God, it's doing this for me. I know, So, it's worth seeing. SL92. A piece of evidence from some case. We've already seen the SL9. We just don't know we've seen it yet. Okay, can't explore anything else except that. What? Don't scare me like that. Oh ho, the blade is broken. I'm the one who's scared. Look at this knife blade. The tip is broken off. And this dark red stain. Blood? Found at the crime scene wrapped in the defendant's muffler. Oh, this is getting worse and worse. This does not excuse the actions of the police force. I would like to hear an explanation from the chief of police himself.
I'm terribly sorry, but could I ask you to testify for us? About the split between the prosecutors and the police and this knife.
Sure thing.
Not a problem. Not even a little one, really.
I'm gonna murder this man, if I can. Actually just want to check. Was there anything else added to the police record? Nope. But I would like to explore this piece of evidence a bit more. I can't. Good. Anyway, this SL9... The reason I say we've seen it before is because of this piece of paper. Because, of course, that is not 6-75. This piece of paper is upside down. It's SL9. Teehee.
This knife is special, but I can't say how here. Unless there's evidence to prove a connection between this knife and Goodman. That was a bad day for the department. We weren't in any shape to do an investigation. The detective was killed at the police department, see? What a mess.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, at the where? Because, to my knowledge, a detective was killed at the prosecutor's office. You know what? He is a passive-aggressive dickbag, Stitch.
The time of the crime? 5:15. Scary coincidence, eh? It's not officially linked to this here case, so I can't talk much about it. There was a murder at the police department. A detective? That's hush-hush information, Archie. We haven't exactly announced it yet.
But wait a second. You said 5:15. That's the exact time that Detective Goodman was killed at the prosecutor's office. Oh, you do, Stitch, and it looks so good. I used to have one, and now my hair tends to be too short in the front for that.
Order! 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 Anyway, we at the department were all flustered, as you might well assume. We're in the middle of a top secret investigation. Don't tell anyone, okay? I think we understand the police department's situation. Well, Mr. Wright?
2 detectives killed at the same time in 2 different places. The chances of that are really slim. Scientifically speaking, of course. I'd like to exercise my right to cross-examine the witness.
Very well. However, keep your questions focused on the case at hand.
Unless there's evidence to prove a connection between the knife and Goodman. I'm gonna save, because this game can be a little bit bullshit sometimes, even when you have the right evidence. I'm gonna press it. No, I'm just gonna present. Wait a second.
Ah, at last! An honest-to-goodness objection!
This knife. This has to have something to do with Detective Goodman.
What do you mean? Aha! An honest-to-goodness what do you mean from Aji. This is great.
Look at the tag on this knife. It reads SL92.
And this is important. Why?
Over here we also have a memo that was on the body of the victim.
What's this? 6 minus 7S 12-2?
Your Honor, it's upside down.
Upside?
The printed name on the memo makes it look like it's right side up. But turn it around and what do you get? That's what happens. The judge just came. Whoever wrote this paper was holding the paper... whoever wrote this note was holding the paper upside down. The judge is pretty garbage, Stitch.
SL9. That's the same thing that is written on the knife's tag. Order, order. Well, Chief? Oh, well. I guess the cat's out of the bag. You win, righto.
I win? Oh yeah, Chair. There's a reason I love these games. And the reason is because they're dumb.
This knife was evidence in a case. It was stolen from the department's evidence room.
Excuse me? So this knife was stolen?
Yes, but on the day of the murder.
It was evidence, you say. Was it, in fact, a murder weapon?
Nice, nice, nice. Good show, Little Worthy. It was a murder weapon, as it happens. It was evidence from a case long since solved.
So this knife was stolen on the day of the murder. Hello, Red Mage. And it was found in the exhaust pipe of Edgeworth's car. You know what, Chair? They haven't done that yet, I don't think. But I wouldn't be surprised if that was like a key piece of evidence in some future Phoenix Wright game. Oh, Juice! Juice, is this man your type? This large, scary, passive-aggressive dick bag? Hard to think there isn't a connection there.
That was a bad day for the department. We weren't in any shape to do an investigation.
Yeah, you know what? He is kind of passive-aggressive, but I do see that he has big DILF energy. Something happened at the police department too, huh?
You got a good look in your eyes there, Righto, my boy. Sharp, hungry, like a shark. In fact, you look something like a shark. Sir, are you just a shark who came up on land and stole an attorney's badge? You are wonderful!
So, something did happen. And why wasn't I informed? Because the police fucking hate you.
Why weren't you informed? Well, why didn't you ask? No matter, I understand. You were busy with that Lana case and all.
You cannot send everybody to horny jail. Well, what happened? What happened at the police department that day? I want to know about this case as well. It's connected in some way. On the same day that the detective was killed in the prosecutor's parking lot, another detective was killed at the police department?
That's a fact! Surprising, isn't it, Adji? I'm at a loss for words.
And the perpetrator? Do you have a suspect?
Well, there was a suspect. Just arrested him, in fact.
Just arrested? That was quick.
But there's still a lot of unanswered questions. Maybe you could help, Righto?
I suppose I could help, if you help me by giving me data on your case.
Oh, good one. This kid's sharp. Okay, here's the deal. I'll tell you one thing and one thing only.
He's already told me when the victim died. Only one thing. I feel like where the victim was found is probably the most important, to be honest. That would be my guess. Yeah, because if it was also like the parking lot, that's just doubling up on the coincidences. So where was the victim found? So tell me, where was the victim found?
Well, I can't speak on where the corpse was found.
Why not? You're the chief of police.
But I can say the crime took place in the evidence room at the police department.
Okay, so the knife was stolen on that day, and then a prosecutor was murdered. It almost feels like they're both Lana, except the timing doesn't work, so what the fuck? The evidence room? Wait a second. I've heard of that. What do you mean you've heard of that? You've been in it. Oh my god, Phoenix. Your brain is like a sponge. And I don't mean it absorbs everything. I mean that it's composed only of one type of cell and everything that goes in comes out. The evidence room. Didn't he mention that in his testimony just now? Yes, he did, Emma. At least you apparently have more than 6 brain cells. Yeah, the knife was evidence in a case that was stolen from the department's evidence room. There's the connection between the 2 cases. You seem happy, Mr. Wright. Happy? We just got handed our ticket to go to town on this case. With the link between the 2 cases established, we finally have some leverage. Now we can get Gant to testify about the details. Time of the case, 5:15. Wait. Okay, but how do I officially link them now? Oh, okay. I've got to, like, press him on this, I'm guessing. Chief. The defense's position is simply this. The connection between these 2 cases has already been proven.
Ha! You don't say. Well, out with it, Righto. What's your connection? Yes, out with it, Mr. Wright.
The connection is a place, mentioned in the testimony we just heard. The knife found in the lot was stolen from the police department's evidence room. Not to mention, the victim had on him the case number of the knife's evidence tag. And we also know that the detective murdered at the police department was killed in that very same evidence room. Luca, what is this poll? Oh. Luca, it's horny jail. Everybody's coming. See, I make joke. Horny hail, horny ale, or horny jail. Mage, what? What the fuck? Better bring my cumbrella? Oh, Travis. Thank you, that was beautiful. Anyway, the game at some point.
Indeed. There do seem to be too many connections for this to be a coincidence. You two make a good pair. It took my men 2 days to find out what you deduced right here.
Chief, I request that you release your information on the victim at the police department.
See, that's the tricky part. It hasn't been announced yet and...
Wait, I'm doing the judge's voice.
That's the tricky part. It hasn't been announced yet and all.
Can we get the information unofficially? Sure, Luca, enjoy lurk.
Sure, why not? It's unofficial after all.
What? Really? Who would have guessed? Because apparently the police do not like prosecutors. So, mostly he just doesn't want to help Edgeworth.
I'll cooperate, but I can't reveal the name of the victim at my department, okay?
If you're going to tell us a little, why not tell us everything?
Ah, well, case information is sticky stuff. You have to do everything properly.
Oh well, I guess I might as well try to get what I can out of him. The victim's division? Okay, well, what division was the victim stationed in?
Oh, you want to know that, do you? Do you? Aha! Criminal Affairs Division 1.
The detectives responsible for homicide cases. Homicide. That would be the same division as Detective Gumshoe. Detective Goodman, who was killed in the underground parking lot, was homicide too. It's almost like a serial killer was after homicide detectives, but did it at the same time in two different locations, impossibly. Except this serial killing happened simultaneously, scientifically speaking. Well, I sure hope Detective Gumshoe isn't next on the list. If they come after Gumshoe, I will fucking riot. 2 detectives were killed at 5:15. 1 at the prosecutor's office, 1 at the police department. That can't be a coincidence. And that knife. What was it doing there? I'd better check this knife out. I already tried to, and the game wouldn't let me. I do not have a Luca command, sadly. See, there's this weird, like, stain on the side that the game won't let me look at. We do. In fact, that clip is what would have appeared. Thank you, Shadow Mage. Whoops. I went too far. We can't reveal the name, but we know he was a homicide detective. So, what was his ID number? I'm assuming his at this point. How about you tell me the victim's ID number? Sure, why not? It's not like you'll be able to tell who it is from that. Of course not. You won't tell me their name, after all. We keep a tight lid on ID numbers, so don't go getting your hopes up. The number is 5842189. 5842189. What the fuck? Okay. So it was Goodman. Even twins would have different ID numbers.
Well, that's quite long.
And we have to remember these. It drives me nuts.
8, 2... I can't do it.
You didn't even get the first number right.
Well, Mr. Wright, does this tell you anything?
The ID number of the victim at the police station is 5842189. This is very interesting. I mean, you make a fair point, Shadow Mage. They could have the same ID number on purpose. Actually, it does, Your Honor. It does. I think.
Meaning?
It has to be what I think it is. But what does this mean?
Well, let's hear what the defense has to say. You say the ID number of the detective who was murdered at the police department tells you something? What does it tell you?
It tells me that it was Goodman. Witness.
What is it, Mr. Wright? You're grinning like a schoolgirl on prom night.
No, it's just, I got confused. And this is news? Huh? Just come out with both guns blazing like you always do. The police department, the prosecutor's office. 2 places, 2 detectives murdered at one time. It's not 2 detectives, Phoenix. Actually, I happen to have a police ID number here.
Oh, is it yours?
I'm not in the... What the fuck, Judge? No, Your Honor. I'm a defense attorney, remember? This is the ID number of our victim, Detective Goodman.
Shame on you, Righto! Personnel IDs are top secret.
Detective Goodman's ID number is 5842189.
And this means what exactly?
Huh?
Wait. That ID number we heard from the chief earlier. That started with a 2. I've forgotten.
You didn't even get the first number right again. The number of the chief of police gave us was 5842189. Wait a second, Wright. What does this mean? That's what I want to know. The two ID numbers are identical. In other words, the detective killed in the police department's evidence room was Bruce Goodman. What does our witness think about that?
Oh! Ho, ho, ho! Sharp as a tack, Righto! Sharp as a tack! But wait! Detective Goodman is our victim! He was killed at 5:15 in the underground parking lot.
Yet, a Detective Bruce Goodman was also killed at the police department in the evidence room at the exact same time. This is part of why I really enjoy this case in particular, because it just fucking... It spins round and round, and I don't remember how this one ends at all. Previous ones, I remembered at least part of how they ended. Not this one. That's impossible. So what we're saying is, the same person was killed at the same time. Because the chief of police is... I think he's having too much fun, frankly. And in a completely different location.
Order! Order! Chief, what does this mean?
No, what I want to know is, why didn't I hear about this? You know what? That's not a terrible question, sir. Yes, it's top secret, fine. But I'm the prosecutor in charge of the case.
Now, just wait a second, Worthy. Not to get all flustered.
No need to get all flustered. Your Honor, the police department has made a grave error in this case.
Wait!
I said wait. Or didn't you hear me?
The oversight? The grave error? Mr. Edgeworth, they're yours.
What? How dare?
We informed you yesterday. I believe it was our Officer Meekins who brought you the news.
Officer Meekins? Oh, shit. A dude did try to bring him a message, and Edgeworth didn't open the message. Yeah, this is Edgeworth's fault. Mr. Wright, where have we heard that name before? Wait! Aha! Excuse me, but is Mr. Edgeworth, anywhere on the premises? I'm here, sir, at the request of the chief. I've got your report, sir. You don't mean him?
According to Meekins, you didn't accept the report.
Hard to believe. But your officer, he told me. He said that report had nothing to do with the Lannis Sky incident. Detective Bruce Goodman murdered in the police department evidence room. Mr. Edgeworth, the victim's name is written on the top of the report.
Ugh.
Why didn't your officer tell me? Honestly, I'm not sure if that officer was capable of making the connection. Wow. He did seem challenged. Oh my god, Emma! Oh my god! Emma just straight up calling a police officer retarded.
In any case, this is a serious error. A gross negligence of duty on your part, Worthy.
It's got a little bit of that, Josh, and I love it. But sir, you could have submitted that report this morning to the court as evidence. She said challenged. And here's the thing, Luca. Retarded, at least until very recently, had an actual specific medical meaning. I can use it with regards to a fictional character. Then, Sir, please.
No such luck this time, Worthy. Or should I say, unworthy? What? Now, what was the second rule of evidence law?
Well, Mr. Wright, I don't know. I'm a shark. Huh? Oh, well, it's Rule 2. Unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case on trial. And how is this rule relevant?
Normally, you submit a list of evidence to be used in court before the trial. This report wasn't on that list. So, what does this mean?
I couldn't submit this evidence until a connection was proven in court. The connection was just proven by Righto over there.
Good job, Righto, my boy.
I was just doing my job.
No. No! It seems we have come to the end of this trial.
But, what? I'm sorry, did I just turn 2 pages? Like, how have we come to the end of this trial?
I know you're going through a tough time, Worthy. What with all those rumors? You were even in the defendant's chair just this past December.
I apologize for this terrible lack of due diligence on my part. Yeah, you better fucking apologize. We could have saved ourselves a lot of trouble.
Mr. Edgeworth!
Please, just give me 1 day. I'll get to the bottom of what happened if it's the last thing I do.
You'd better get results this time.
Really? You have my profound apologies, sir. For Mr. Edgeworth.
I don't think there's ever been an error this serious in the history of this court.
Are y'all fucking insane? Have you watched back any of my past trials? You pass judgment on someone and then let Larry kick down the doors and object to that. And no, fuck you, Judge. The worst errors have been yours.
I will grant 1 further day, as the prosecution has requested. Will that be sufficient, Mr. Edgeworth?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
Whatever your punishment for this is, for your sake I hope it's not decisive. Very well. Court is adjourned.
As I said, this is an interesting case because I don't remember any of it. Mr. Wright? So, what's going on with the case anyway? Stitch, I'm sorry to hear that. I hope you'll recover. I'm a little confused. Huh? Well, let's see. What is going on? The victim, Detective Bruce Goodman, was stabbed to death after 5 p.m. on the 21st. He died in the prosecutor's parking lot and the police department's evidence room. I know it is, Juice. I just also like to play the completely oblivious character sometimes. What's this and the evidence room part? Oh my god, Emma, you were there. You were even taking notes at several points. God, please. The prosecutor's office and the police department are 30 minutes apart by car. Well, that's what we're gonna find out. Or try to, at least. Alright, let's do it. It's worth noting. Died within an hour and a half of 4 p.m. Like, everyone's assuming he died at 5:15. But he could have died before then. I mean, you're not wrong, Juice. Why did the character with a brain have to die? Glad she's in good spirits, but I'm not sure she's going to be much help with this. Lunar owns Twitch, I believe is one of the bot accounts. I will give you 1 minute to prove otherwise. Otherwise, Juice, I will ask you to bop. Don't be so sure, Mr. Wright. Huh? Look, we're in this together, right? I'll prove that these thick-rimmed glasses of mine aren't just for show. I mean, they are just for show, but you're also very good. Let's go. Science awaits us. Lunar owns Twitch. I'll give you 10 more seconds to say anything in chat. It can even be a single period. It can be anything to prove that you're a human being pressing buttons. Bubbles, thank you for the doots. Yeah, Josh, the hosses are very frustrating. Okay, Juice, if you can go ahead and bop Lunar owns Twitch, that would make me very happy. Omae wa shindeiru.
Are we the baddies?
No, Stitch, we're not the baddies. The bots are the baddies. As I said, the person I feel worst for is there is a real Hoss00312 who is just a person who fucking streams on Twitch, and now there are all these bots stealing their name, and they can't legitimately follow anybody anymore because they get banned. And it makes me wonder if someone doesn't have a vendetta against them and is actively trying to get them banned. There's another account called Judge Judy Slayer that has a bunch of fake follow bots as well, and I wonder if the same thing isn't happening there. So it's curious. There's some weird stuff happening, and Twitch really needs to fix this. They're not going to tell us how they're going to fix it, and they're not going to tell us when they're going to fix it, but dang it, they sent an email to tell us that they're probably maybe going to fix it. Of course they won't, but they have to send the email. You know, I really don't think we should worry about the police department murder. Yeah, Stitch, that would be effective. We don't need to kill them. We just need to make them give up their kneecap rights. Hello, Nikki. You cute. For 5,000 channel points? Yes. Nikki, you're still cute. But also, I love you too, Nikki. Toasted marshmallow or stink bug? Let's a go. Oh? Oh! 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 Very pleasant toasted marshmallow. Oh, very pleasant. Once I get, like, face cam set up, this is going to be so much better. I'm quite excited for my face reveal eventually. It'll cost me a little bit because I need to buy makeup and also find some makeup tutorials. But I'm excited. Now, there wasn't even a body found there. Who cares? Yeah! It was only our victim who was killed in their evidence room. No biggie. Besides, my sister would never do such a thing. I know it. Yeah. The fucking oil drum. The oil drum kicked over by the chief prosecutor was brimming with water. My sister, erasing evidence at the crime scene? Never. Even though she says they don't get along, Emma really likes her sister. That's not it at all. It's just, we're both professionals at what we do, and I trust her. What do you mean professionals? You're a high schooler. I'm glad that Phoenix thinks the same way. Big words for a high school student. Well, whether there was blood on the floor or not, the water in that oil drum washed it all away. Ignore the strength of my science at your own peril, Mr. Wright. Huh? What's that grin for? This situation calls for one thing, and that is luminol testing fluid. Fuck yes. Again, this was introduced, I believe, on the 3DS or DS collection. And so they had, like, a bunch of little things. They're like, guys, we got a touchscreen. Anybody want to do cool stuff with a touchscreen? Go fucking wild. Okay, so it was the DS, yeah. Luminol? Blood is sticky stuff, you know. You can't just wash it away with a little water. Even if you can't see it, it's still there. But wouldn't the police have already done those tests? Legitimately, not unless they had good reason to think that there was blood. And, frankly, like, they already had a body. But yes, Bubbles also makes the point that this stuff doesn't just show up blood. It'll show up most bodily fluids. So yeah. Good opportunity to see if people have been fucking in the parking lot as well. Just give it a try. Me? Why do I have to do it? Because you're the one with the touchscreen, dingus. I'm a minor. I can't even drink yet. We're testing bloodstains with the stuff, not drinking it. Here, look. I'll lend you these glasses. Huh? You had an extra pair of those things? To test for a blood reaction, just spray the luminol on it. Like this, see? I'm not gonna press enter. I have a mouse. I do kind of like that this game can be played like keyboard only, but it's so much more convenient with the mouse. Well, I see bloodstains. I can see your eyes shining behind those glasses. So, is this a blood stain? No, that looks much more like clumps of semen, but whatever. It's so... Emma, you're shaking. It's just... This is my first time seeing real blood. Scientific investigation in action. Okay, well, we definitely know that this is a blood stain. But doesn't something strike you as odd? Scientifically speaking, of course. Well, they're not footprint shaped. You know, Stitch, that's something I didn't consider, but That is... Yeah, Stitch and Juice raise an interesting point. I mean, the amount of blood is the big thing. You stab a person, it's not going to be 3 drops. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Is Emma Sky a trans icon and we never realized? Hi, Ophi. How was groceries? Oh my god, this just got even better. The perpetrator and Detective Goodman fought here, right? Don't you think there'd be a little more blood? I definitely think so. I mean, look at the blood on the sole of the victim's shoe. It is pretty strange. If they fought here, there'd have to have been more blood than this. Hey, Mr. Wright? I'm gonna mark up the floor plans when you find a blood stain, okay? Oof. That's a lot, but I'm also glad you got it, Ophi. See? I'm pretty handy to have around, right? Yeah. And this stuff's pretty handy, too. I saved up my allowance to buy that. We can't be sure that the police will reveal all their evidence in court. Sometimes they fail to mention evidence that doesn't fit with their view of the case. That is unfortunately true. Then let's drag that hidden evidence out into the light of day. Yeah, it feels like we're really investigating a crime now, doesn't it? Guess I should give this a spray on anything suspicious. Ah! I wonder how that fluid of yours would react to a nice deli box. Miss Star! You only trust your own eyes, hmm? Not bad, you two. This day-old deli box is on the house. I don't want day-old rice. Like, day-old rice? Pretty good for making certain things. Like, I think you want leftover rice for, like, fried rice and things. But in general, no. Sorry, it's just that kind of lead-in doesn't really get my mouth watering. Fine, I'll talk to you. You certainly put me in a tight spot today. My apologies, Miss Star, but... No, it's okay. It was my fault. Oh, we know. Oh, fuck yes! Fucking murder her, Emma. God, what a response! I witnessed everything from that security room right there. But I was afraid that wouldn't sound convincing enough, you see. I was wrong to think that. I'm sorry. Sorry? You lied on the witness stand. That's unforgivable. Little girl, don't forget what's important here. Even if the place I witnessed the events from was different, I still saw what I saw. I saw Chief Prosecutor Sky stab a man in cold blood, and that testimony still stands. Ah! I swear it on my honor as a detective. She stabbed Goodman. I know this photograph has something important to tell us, but what? So I do have a theory about what happened. My theory is he was murdered by someone else in the evidence room at around 4 o'clock. And then Emma, for some reason using... Not Emma. Lana, for some reason using Edgy's car, brought him over here. Like, it doesn't all fit. But there's something weird going on. So, you were a detective, weren't you, Miss Star? Yes, it was a long time ago. Well, 2 years ago. No matter how hardened the criminal, when they faced me, they coughed it up. Coughed it up? They confessed. They babbled like babies. You know, I may seem like a demon sometimes, but I can be an angel too. I wouldn't doubt it. Every day I drag the dirt out of the mouths of suspect after suspect. And before long they called me the cough-up queen, on account of how I always had hairballs and had to cough them up in court. Oh god, Bubbles and I had the same thought. God, Bubbles. She did basically say that. Oh, and here I thought someone had gotten food poisoning from your lunches. And you were let go? Fired? I felt that I had found my dream job when I became an investigator. And if these prim and proper prosecutors hadn't let me go, I'd still be one today. It's all because of that case, the SL9 incident. SL9? Wait, she doesn't mean... Well, that's certainly curious. What do you think about this? The SL9 incident. It's written on that knife. And on that note. Goodman. Goodman was the head detective on that case, you know. Really? That knife was evidence from that case. The murder weapon. It was due for transferal the very day that Goodman was killed. As I suspected, SL9 isn't over. Not yet. Do you think you could tell us more about the SL9 incident? Oh? Apparently not. Okay. I had assumed that that would give me shit to do. Anyway. Blood! Blood on the phone, that makes sense. This blood must be from when Lana... No! My sister isn't the murderer. But she did call you, didn't she? At the time of the crime? And her right hand is bandaged. Hey! Just whose side are you on? This has nothing to do with taking sides. So, this means that Lana's hand had blood on it. This just keeps getting worse. Random spraying! I'm surprised that this didn't open up anything about that incident. Because yeah, at the end... Phoenix says, do you think you could tell us more about the SL9 incident? And apparently the answer is no. If you think about it, I could have taken that picture from the guard room. But even I get flustered sometimes. So you went straight to the scene of the crime. I rushed towards the chain-link fence in an effort to stop the murder. That's when I took this photo, yes. In other words, 5 minutes after the crime? Those 5 minutes are the whole problem. The hole in my testimony, as it were. The 5 minutes weren't the problem, Miss Star. You lying was the problem. Fucking get her, Emma. Listen, little girl. I've had my testimony disregarded before, and I wasn't going to have it disregarded again. Josh, because she's a liar, is the answer. Just like that time. That time? Oh ho! There we go! I needed to present her with both of those. That incident really opened up my eyes to the truth. We are nothing to them. Disposable. Disposable? To who? 2 years ago. It was the biggest case I'd ever handled. Hey, Marshall was there. That's interesting. The police and the prosecutors were desperate for decisive evidence. So they didn't solve it? On the contrary. It was solved quite cleanly. The criminal was caught and executed. Executed? Yes, the criminal got what was coming to him. It doesn't get any cleaner than that. The only problem was, they never did find decisive evidence. Not a shred. Does the murder weapon not count? What? But the criminal was executed, right? On the basis of evidence of assault. Made up evidence. What? You mean they executed someone with fabricated evidence? The best part came several months after the trial. Every detective involved with the case was dealt with. Some were demoted to patrolmen, others found themselves out of a job. And you were one of those. Myself and one other person you know well. Ah, Marshall. Exactly, Detective Jake Marshall. Oops, I mean Police Department Security Detail Officer Jake Marshall. And it's interesting how many people from back then are involved in this trial. As professional detectives, we investigated that case from every angle. Jake was particularly determined. And then it was over. He was demoted. However, he hasn't forgotten. Neither have I. You haven't forgotten SL9? There was another side to that case, a hidden side. That's what we're after now. And no one up in their fancy offices can stop us. Wait! Those lunches you sell. There is only one reason I come to sell lunches in this accursed office. Hello, Chen! You are also cute. I come here to meet old friends. Boyfriends that can help me investigate. Miss Star's old boyfriends. How many does she have anyway? Just when all the detectives on SL9 have disappeared, we find new evidence. There has to be a connection. You see, the issue is, yeah, this woman should be one of our suspects. She had motive. She had opportunity, because we know for a fact that she was here. And, frankly, she had means, because the weapon was in the vehicle. So, yeah, she's setting herself up as a really good suspect. What? It seems like you're serious about investigating this case. Yes. Then you should take this. A Salisbury steak lunch? I know a certain guy who might help you if you tempt him with this treat. Oh, okay. Miss Starr? Officer Marshall, is he your, are you his... Are you going out? Why do you want to know? I was just wondering what happened to him. A long time ago, when he was helping my sister do cases, he was so nice. He got along so well with my sister, it made me jealous. And he was so nice to me back then, too. This would be when Officer Marshall was a detective. But now he's so cold. Jake and I are merely cooperating on this investigation. We're putting the past to rest, as it were. Nothing more than that. I see. Thank you. Officer Jake Marshall. It's very possible, Bubbles. That's kind of the feeling I got. Because this would have been 2 years ago, so 14-year-old girl, the close male friend of her older sister. It very much fits the crush. Also, Chen, we discovered that Emma is actually a trans icon. Let's see if anything's changed here. Well, this place is as classy today as it was yesterday. Oh, her goggles are amazing. They make me so happy. Like, her whole design, I genuinely think is fantastic. And I'm sure it'll still be just as classy tomorrow, Emma. Incidentally, Edgeworth's not here. I'm sure he's off doing important investigations. I hope that's what he's doing. I guess we'll have to come back. Oh no. Oh no, we won't. I want to see if there's any blood in Edgeworth's office. Dang it! I was kind of hoping the trophy would have blood on it. But no blood. Let's go to the police department. It's even busier here today than it was yesterday. The detectives are running around so fast they're blurring. I suppose it makes sense. A detective did get killed here after all. Because Edgeworth was mentored by Karma, who is an actual vampire. Well, Von Karma. So, the evidence room, the scene of the crime. According to the pamphlet we got at the front desk, here it is. She's like a kid at an amusement park. Ooh, a real crime scene. Let's go take a look. Can I go to the evidence room? No, but I can go to the criminal affairs department. Wow, everyone looks deadly serious here. Well, there was a vicious murder of a detective down at the police department. Yes, but the same detective was also killed at the same time in the prosecutor's lot. Ugh, it makes my head hurt. Well, first things first, let's check out the police department crime scene. Yes, you sound dead set on investigating. Oh, Emma, this is why we love you. But don't mess up or we could wind up dead. I doubt anyone wants more mysteries or dead bodies around here right now. Oh god, Phoenix, lighten up. But it doesn't look like anyone's going to help us much either. Oh. I had assumed that I'd be able to go to the evidence room. Apparently not. These are the detectives' desks. There are computers and files on each one. Funny, they're a lot tidier than I'd expect. I guess the detectives don't spend a lot of time at their desks. Whomst. Must be one of the detectives. He's mumbling something to himself. I know, the killer used dry ice. If you put it between the latch and the door, the room could be sealed shut. This is good. I'll win a writer's award for sure. Sir! Sir, you have a job to do? He's not writing a report. He's writing a novel. Heck. Can I steal shit? Apparently not. I feel like there's nothing important to do here. But I'm also surprised that I can't go to the evidence room. Oh well. Looks like Miss Sky is in questioning. I hope the detectives aren't yelling at her. How'd you kill him in 2 places at the same time? Can you imagine? How's she supposed to answer that? Wait a second. Didn't Mr. Gant say they'd arrested a suspect in the police department murder? Let's come back later. Okay, well, I've been to all the places. So... you idiot, what were you thinking? Where's your head? Sir, it's right here, sir. I guess he wasn't saluting, he was showing the detective where his head was. What? What? But also, where do I go and what do I do? And what do I do and where do I go? I'm confused. Yeah. I'm literally just checking a walkthrough to make sure. Because I don't know. I don't know what to do next. Is there... Apparently I have to go back and talk to... yeah. Angel still has more things to tell me. Which is a surprise. I had one of those up until 2 years ago. Back when you were the cough-up queen, right? We found this ID card here in this parking lot. Well, there's no mistaking that. It's definitely Goodman's. But it's the same ID as the man who was killed at the police department. That's impossible. I wish I could be so sure. I was hoping to get more out of that. Do. But okay. This wasn't here before. That was just a flag I needed to be able to get to the guard station. That's fine. Oh my god. No, this is too much. This is too much. This man has several ponchos. He has a cow-patterned hat hanging on a cactus? What? Who allowed him to decorate this way? What's with the decor in this place? It's very eccentric. According to the pamphlet, this is the guard station for the evidence room. So beyond that door is the evidence room. It sure seems that way. Oh. What's wrong? It's those cacti. They're so prickly. So imposing. It's hard to think straight. Can't handle the cacti, stay out of the desert. Phoenix, what the fuck? What I want to know is, if there's a guard station, where is the guard? I have a feeling I know who he is already. What? Yikes! These sure are prickly. They must be the real deal. I would think just one big one would be sufficient. These cacti are a lot like my sister, actually. What? How so? Encased in a cold, rigid shell with spines pointing in every direction. Just like her. I'm not so sure I see the resemblance. It's more an attitude thing than a physical similarity. There's a security guard uniform hanging here. What? Is there, Emma? Like, I don't mean to be a buzzkill, but is there? Looks more like a costume than a uniform, honestly. A leather jacket, leather pants, a leather... What was that called again? A punchy? A paunchy? A pinchy? I know, a poochie. Wait, maybe that wasn't it. It's a poncho, but I think I'll keep that information to myself. Also, this man is clearly an alcoholic. Looks like there's a video feed from the evidence room here. There's a light blinking below the monitor. It says recording. I bet we could use this computer to check on who went in and out of there. Look, on the floor. A lasso. Looks like it's set up to trap something. A trap? Here? Wait, I know! Maybe someone was trying to catch a wild bull in here, but the lasso missed. You sure have an active imagination. The evidence room is beyond that door. Let's just walk in. It won't open! You thought it'd be open? I think we'd need someone's permission to go in there first. This swinging door makes the place look like some kind of saloon. But look, it's nailed shut. You can't get in that way. Of course not. If you went in through here, the cactus would fall over. What? 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 Fuck it. Let's see if there's any blood here. Oh. That actually surprised me. Wow, we got a reaction. Oh. Oh, Emma's sweetheart. That's not blood. Jake Marshall has been using this thing as a butt plug. I mean, it is blood because he was using it as a butt plug. But, you know, it's not the blood we're looking for. There's clearly blood around the spines here. This room's pretty messy. Someone must have tripped over something and planted their head right in these spines. Oh, Phoenix. My sweet summer child. I think that might be more painful than being murdered. Place is charged with frantic energy as always. Please! Huh? Wasn't that? One steak lunch, please! Oh, it's you! Detective Gumshoe. Now's no time for chit-chat, pal. I'm a busy man. What I really need is a steak lunch from Lunchland. Oh! You mean one of these? Actually, it's not for sale. I think I just heard the sound of his heart breaking. Now's no time for despair. We've caught our criminal. Now we just need evidence. Normally those go the other way round. Just a thing to keep in mind in future. The criminal. You mean... You heard about the stabbing in the police department evidence room, right, pal? I did. There was a suspect, just arrested him. It's the biggest scandal to hit the station in ages.
Everything's topsy-turvy.
But Detective Gumshoe, who was it?
Listen, pal, all I know is I need me a steak lunch. Pronto! Standing around here talking isn't gonna fill my belly.
Wait, don't leave.
If you want to know more, head on down to the detention center, pal. Questioning should be over, so I figure he's down there having a good cry. Later.
Key? Well, this investigation is off to a running start. Still, I do feel better about things. A little. I mean, they caught the person who stabbed Detective Goodman, didn't they? Yeah, I guess they did. Best to not go too far down that road right now. Things will just get confusing. Holy shit, it's Officer Meekins that they arrested? The dude who... Sir, that's what I'm saying. Me, a perpetrator? I'd say I was perpetrated against, sir. That's what I'd say. Hi. Greetings, sir. Wait, I know who you are. Excuse me, but is Mr. Edgeworth, anywhere on the premises? I'm here, sir, at the request of the chief. Sir, I've got your report, sir. Officer Meekins. So you're a guard here at the detention center? No, sir, I'm not, sir. I'm a little lost patrolman, like a little lost lamb, sir. Oh, I get it. You're here to deliver a report. No, sir. How should I say this? Wait. He isn't, is he? Officer Meekins, you didn't, did you? He's very silly. Perpetrator Officer Meekins reporting, sir! What? What? Now this is an unexpected turn of events. Sir, I'm a patrolman with General Affairs, sir! Ow, I can hear you fine, Officer Meekins. I had some business that day, sir, and so I went to the evidence room, sir. The guard station in front of the room was empty, sir. So normally there's a guard at the evidence room. That's right, sir, because evidence is kept in the evidence room, sir. Now, the security officer was none other than Officer Marshall. Well, you're not wrong, Chair. Marshall? Then, sir, I happened to glance at the security room monitor. Wow. Wow, Bubbles. Could you please never say the phrase corpse penetration again? That's when I saw him, sir. A suspicious person in the evidence room. A suspicious person, sir. A suspicious person. Yow! I'm sorry. If you go back a few frames, it no longer appears to be the case. I think his hand was handcuffed to his own neck. What the heck is this guy doing? So, what happened then? After that, sir, everything went white. I saw red. I blacked out. Those are three separate things. Bubbles, you've gone too far. And when I came to, I was here in the detention center. How long were you out? Days? Might I ask, what happened to your hand? Sir, there was no one to bandage me, sir. so I did what I could to wrap it up, sir. A bandage on his hand? Just like Ms. Sky. Yet another similarity between this case and the one at the prosecutor's office. First things first, tell us how you hurt your hand. About your hand, did that happen during the course of the crime? Well, you see, sir, don't you think you should just confess? But sir, but there was nothing I could do. Nothing you could do? Sir, to tell the truth, sir, when it happened, when the detective pointed that knife at me, I just hollered, sir. Oh. Holy shit. Do you know who always carries around a knife roughly 4.5 inches long? Who fucking shaves with it? Ah! I'd like to spray his knife. That's not an innuendo. And the next thing I knew, I was unconscious. Next thing you knew, you were... Huh? Then, when I opened my eyes, I was alone in the evidence room, sir. All alone. Alone because Detective Goodman had disappeared. Oh. Oh, when Detective Goodman pointed the knife which was evidence at him. That's weird. What? Then, when I looked down, I was gushing blood from my hand, sir. Oh, the shock! Oh, the sorrow, sir! Can you imagine how I felt? The victim's body disappeared? That's some story. I don't mean to pry, but you are the perpetrator, correct? You killed Detective Bruce Goodman in the evidence room, right? Sir, please don't look at me with those sad puppy dog eyes, sir. If you have to label me as a perpetrator or victim, sir, then label me victim. I would, but you happen to be in detention, and alive and well at that. Ah, yes, well, that's true, sir. I suppose you could say that. Did you know the victim, Detective Goodman? Yeah, it's a bit frustrating, Josh. Well, sir, if I had to label him as a stranger, or a total stranger, then I'd say he leans heavily on the total stranger side. So, you didn't know him? Sir, I work in a tiny department devoid of light or other creature comforts. Wait, where do you work? Are you in the dungeons? Do they have you underground in the mines? I don't know any detectives. So if he was a total stranger, why did you stab him? Yes, Luca, it is his megaphone. Oh no, Luca. No. My fire alarm in my new apartment is much worse. If he was a total stranger, why did you stab him? Sir, I had no intention of killing him, sir. None. Nor did I have any recollection of killing him, sir. At least someone around here is more confused than I am. Okay. What was this the knife that was waved at you? Officer Mikas, this is for you. No, I'm scared of knives, sir. It's okay, I just wanted you to take a look at it. That's it, sir! Last night, sir, that's the one. It was an apple, sir, in my dream, sir, and I was being peeled. I'd like someone to peel my apple, if you know what I mean. On second thought, you don't have to look at the knife. He's overreacting to the knife, but I guess he's been through a lot. I don't know what I mean. I'm just being silly. Do you think you could take a look at this? Hey! That's it, sir! That's it! That's it! That's what? My head was a blank until this very moment. But, sir, now I remember. I remember, sir. You mean you remember what happened? Correct! That card was the cause of it all. Oh? This ID card? Exactly, sir. That's exactly it. Nothing could be more exact, sir. Nothing. I'd better pry into this one a little deeper. Yeah, Luca. Have a good one. Have good sleep if you sleep. Can you tell me what it is you do remember? Well, sir, you might say I'm a little lost patrolman. A little lost lamb, if you will. I didn't know Mr. Detective Goodman was who was in the evidence room. Well, Luca, I live in hope. And that's why you thought he looked suspicious. You know, it's the white shoes. Ugh. Bubbles, I hate that. I know it was a Game Grumps bit, but I still hate it. Sir, I entered the evidence room and asked the man to show me his ID card. Well, that sounds pretty much by the book so far. That's right, sir. That's what I've been trying to tell you. So, you asked Detective Goodman to show his ID card. What did he do? That's the thing! Suddenly, he pointed a knife at me. What? Sir, I assure you I was as flustered as you are right now. So I whooped and leapt at him. Detective Goodman pointed a knife at him? Do unto others before they do unto you. My own father's words, sir. What happened then? Well, my eyes, sir, everything went white. When I awoke, I was here. Right. So, Officer Meekins, why was it that they arrested you? What do you mean, Emma? Let's look at what we know. Now, Officer Meekins didn't know Detective Goodman, and the victim, whom we met at the scene of the crime, didn't show his ID card. In other words, we have no way of knowing if the victim was really the victim. And if this body just disappeared from the evidence room, it was a fucking shadow clone! We don't even know if anyone actually died. That's it, sir! That's what I wanted to say! That is, I did say something along those lines. Huh? But you still ended up here? They told me that it had to be him, sir. On that day, at that time. Detective Goodman was definitely in the evidence room. That's what they said. But you don't remember the events clearly. No, but the videotape is quite clear. Huh? Videotape? From the security camera. The crime, my crime, the crime I swore to stamp out. It's there, it's me, on the tape. Oh. And you waited until now to tell us this? I'm sorry, really sorry, sir. I'll hand over my badge. I don't deserve it. No, thanks. I have my own. Well, guess we'd better go check out the crime scene. Oh? Hey, Mr. Wright. Look who's standing at the Chief of Detectives desk. It's Police Chief Gant. Fucking Officer Miku? And you're sure this is him? This is all? Hmm? You know what it means if there's anything missing. Sir, I'm sure it's most likely totally perfect. We checked all of his drawers, lockers, garbage cans, under his cushion, behind his computer monitor, inside his personal coffee machine. I see. Well, if anything does turn up, you call me right away. Deal? Yes, sir. We'll scour the place again, sir. The Chief of Detectives looks a little flustered. Ah ha ha! Righto, my boy. How you been? Swim much? Sir, we last saw you a few hours ago. No. Oh ho ho! Chief Gant, reporting for duty, sir. Why are you saluting him, Mr. Wright? So, just so we're all on the same page. This guy is obviously the murderer, right? Like, there's no way it's not him. I don't know how or why it's him, but it's him. No one in a Phoenix Wright game dresses like this and is not the murderer. Is Edgeworth going to be okay? Oh, Worthy! You know him! They're doing a little inquiry committee with him. Yeah, she is, but the lunch lady isn't dressed like an actual, like, opera villain. Sounds like an Inquisition. Dude has a red cross on a black background as his fucking tie. Yep, well, they've had no end of trouble with the boy since last year. You mean the incident on Gourd Lake? It doesn't look good having a top prosecutor sit in the defendant's seat, does it? And you got someone else found guilty in that case, right, righto? Well, yes, the criminal. A legend he was, undefeated in his 40-year career. But in court you fixed it so he was caught for forging evidence. Wait, I didn't do anything wrong. He did forge evidence. In any case, the prosecutor's office is in a bit of turmoil, you might say. Why, they do just about anything to restore their reputation. Now, depending on what that inquiry committee decides, it could be bad for Worthy. What? It's downright odd, I tell you. The detective getting killed on their turf too, I mean. There being the prosecutors, I assume? Scientifically speaking, it's impossible. Yes, but that's what the evidence is saying. Goodman was stabbed in 2 locations at the same time. That's what it says. What evidence is this? Now, righto. I can't give away all our secrets just like that. But we're the defense on the case? Surely we have some right to evidence? And this in particular, well, it's a little sensitive, and I can't talk about it. I wasn't expecting much anyway. You know, one thing I hate most of all is hiding stuff. Secrets! Can't stand them. That is untrue, sir. But, you know, it's a full-time job just keeping the chief out of the Chief of Detectives' trap shut. Ah, he was the one who you were picking on earlier. Huh? You saw that? Whoops! I wonder what it was that he wanted the chief of detectives to do. Let's see if we can kind of discreetly ask him. I was wondering, could you take a look at this?
Ah, sorry, Righto. I'm through with that stuff. Through, I say. Go find that guy who can't seem to sit still out there. The busy one.
The guy who can't sit still? Does he mean Detective Gumshoe? Either him or the Dancing Blue Badger. Okay, well that's just fucking mean. What else could be useful? Well, this was the dude he was talking to. Does examining him talk to him? Ooh, sorry you had to see that. It does, sort of. What exactly did the chief of police want you to do? Well, see over there? That's Goodman's desk. He wanted me to check it for anything that might be a clue. They took away every last piece of garbage in the trash can. So nothing belonging to Detective Goodman is still here. Of course not. Well, except for this. What? You kept something? Sure, why not? It's not important. He didn't even finish writing it. It's a lost item report, but it's only half complete. A lost item? Did Detective Goodman lose something? The date on it is February 21st. Better make a note of that just in case. Oh! Fucking February 21st, was it? I'm sure these two dates aren't related at all. A half-written document dated 2/21. But presumably it doesn't say what the item was. I should really get back to investigating the police department crime scene. Can I look at this more closely? Weird! He was getting his own ID wrong? Which suggests, as I expected, that it was his ID card that was lost. If he could have just referred to it, he wouldn't have got the ID number wrong. He lost his ID card. That's why he didn't show his ID card to Officer Meekins. Bam! Actually, I was wondering if I could ask you a favor.
Well, I never thought the day would come when Righto asked me for help.
I was wondering if we could investigate the evidence room. Don't blink at me like that.
Now, Righto!
Actually, I'm sorry. I don't need to investigate after all.
Righto, please. Do I look like a selfish man?
No! You look like a demon! Huh?
Heck, if anyone asked me, sir, can I borrow $50? I'd give them $50, no problem.
Can I borrow $50?
So, go ahead. Investigate that room to your heart's content. Knock yourself out.
It just goes to show, you never know until you ask.
And for you here, you can borrow this.
Hey, this is a detective's ID card, isn't it?
That's a special card for guests, so don't lose it.
A special card for guests, which has the exact same image, which, if you look closely, still even says Bruce Goodman on it. But whatever. Yes, sir. It's an honor.
You just run along and do your best now. Later, folks.
Bruce was never actually a policeman. Heh. It looks pretty cool on my lapel, doesn't it? Just think, a real ID. You seem pretty happy. Yes, sir. Because, sir, we get to go into the evidence room now. I think this place is a bad influence on the girl. God, I just realized I still know my South African ID number, which I haven't needed to use for, obviously, a very long time. The evidence room is beyond that door, and we have the ID card from Chief Gant. Let's just walk in. It won't open. Aha, the card reader is turned off, see? What is that security guard thinking? Howdy, partners. Well, what's made my Bambina's sky so grey? Officer Marshall. Why does it have to be him? Oh, Phoenix, you looked around this room and thought it could have been anybody else? What's that? Why does it have to be him, look for? As you may have surmised, this here's my saloon. We're here to investigate the crime scene. Yeehaw! That card you got there on your chest? That's better than a sheriff's badge in these parts. Well, Zach, just keep drawing circles until you get better. Zach, the confidence with which you wrote Rexon makes me very happy. Well, what you standing there for? Get along, little dojies. The crime scenes are waiting. Looks like the card reader's on again. Shadow Mage. While you're here, I was wondering if we could ask you... Oh, wait. Heck, that's Phoenix. While we're here, I was wondering if we could ask you some questions. Sorry, cowboy, but I got no mind to tangle with you, hombres. You're busy, then? Did I say that? I only said I didn't wish to speak with you. Actually, you said you had no mind to tangle with us hombres. But what if we gave you food? Smell. Reminds me of Texas. So, Officer Marshall, you're from Texas? No, I just saw a special on television the other day. Is this from my baby? Yeah, Miss Starr. What's this? What? What's wrong? Fillet steak lunch. I see. I don't see. I wonder what it means. Alright, Bambina, you win. Finally, it seems like he's willing to talk. Officer Marshall, you're in charge of security for the evidence room, right? You got good eyes, partner. It's an easy job, and I'm grateful for it. Actually, Officer Meekins at the detention center told us. Oh, that poor little doji. Poor guy. I kept getting his name wrong and calling him Meekly. He told us something. He said that when the stabbing occurred, you weren't at your station. Well, maybe I shouldn't be telling you this. Since I got demoted from detective 2 years ago. Well, it might not look it, but I lost my fire for the job, you know. So, what were you doing around 5:15 when the murder took place? You know, you with a knife that exactly matches the description of the murder weapon. Well, I reckon I was galloping down the highway on the back of my steed Zippy. No, he was riding down the highway on his horse named Zippy. There's no need for people here anyhow. These newfangled machines do a bang-up job of keeping an eye on the place. You mean the security camera system? I don't take to machines much.
Kinda like that stewed broccoli they sneak in next to your steak, you know?
What? No? Miss Starr told us something. She said that you were a detective until 2 years ago.
It was always my dream to be a rawhide wrangler on the scene of the crime. It's all gone now, like a drinking hole in a prairie fire.
You're still investigating the SL9 incident with Miss Starr, aren't you?
That was my case. It's all solved on the record books, but it smells like a bad game of poker. I can't let it go. That's all there is to it.
What kind of case was it, anyway? Well, there was a murder weapon, so probably a murder. We've heard the name so many times, but no one tells us what actually happened. Let me guess, it was an almost exact replica of this case?
There's some things you're better off not knowing, Bambina. Anyway, that case is officially dead as of 2 days ago.
2 days ago? The day of our case?
That's right. The evidence transferals.
Edgeworth was talking about the transferals too. Sorry, but could you explain what this whole transferal thing is about?
We keep only evidence from solved cases in this room. They're kept here under the presiding detective supervision for 2 years. So we can reinvestigate them if it turns out there was a mistake, see?
So what happens to the evidence after 2 years?
It goes to sleep forever in the underground vault at the county sheriff's department. That's what we call transferal. We do it every February.
I see now.
Transferal is like a funeral for old cases. 2 years after a case is solved, it's closed forever. Dead. Never to be reopened again. Never to be reinvestigated.
And that happened to SL9 2 days ago.
I know what maybe 2 of the machines in here do.
Only 2 of them? There must be a dozen.
Like I said, Bambina, me and machines, well, I like them about as much as I like stewed cauliflower with my steaks.
Sir, you need to eat vegetables.
The easiest ones to understand are these here security cameras.
Those are the ones that Officer Meekins mentioned.
If nothing happens, the tapes are automatically erased every few hours.
And Officer Meekins and Detective Goodman, are they on one of those tapes?
I reckon they might be.
You're the security guard and you reckon?
One more thing. When you go into the evidence room, you need an ID card. That's the card reader by the door.
Which means, if Goodman didn't have an ID card, how could he have got in?
The card reader leaves a record of every ID that passes through.
5842189 at 1 minute before the murder. Also, whomst is all 7s? Hey, I've seen that somewhere before.
Sorry, Bambina, I can't show you more than that.
Huh?
I haven't heard whether this is related to the case yet.
Mr. Wright, I saw a number on that record just now. I've seen that number before.
Bubbles!
I don't even know where that 7 is from. Maybe there's some way I can prove that record is tied to the stabbing. Well, the timing? Are we all going bonkers here and not recognizing that it was at the exact same fucking time? I've never watched My Brother and Me. Or, well, listened to. So, that's why I've missed it. Nikki MBMBAM is a podcast called My Brother, and Me, by the McElroy brothers. Looks like we need some evidence to get anywhere with this guy. I'm presenting you the fucking autopsy, sir. I didn't actually mean to present. I wanted to see if I could ask this dude about... Oh, I can't spray at the moment. Interesting. Okay, I guess. I turned on the card reader. Oh, they had a TV show as well? I was not aware of that. Go have yourselves a ball, partners. And I have the ID card. A real ID card. Let's get this investigation started already. Oh, it looks very different to the last time we were in here. It's quiet. The investigation must be over here. So this is the evidence room? It really is kind of like a graveyard. In what ways is it like a graveyard, Emma? What graveyards have you visited? Graveyards are supposed to have grass and trees. And fucking graves! Are we ignoring the big things? This feels more like a morgue. Nice try, Mr. Wright. You can't scare me. Whoa! Did she just slap him? Sorry, I thought you were a ghost. I wouldn't recommend going around smacking ghosts on the head, pal. So is it true what I heard? In the sense that I can go inside? Yes. Yeah, it's true. So, Chief of Police Gant will loan anyone $50, even me? Oh. Oh, that part. So that's what you were talking about. Actually, I was put in charge of the investigation for today. Just for today? Boss for a day. Guess what? You got permission from the chief, so now you're boss for a day. Gee, thanks. First of all, you'll want to have this. Ooh. New shit. Oh. You know, I was hoping for the floor plan to show anything. Okay, but first things first. Let's find out where the blood is. The answer appears to be not here. Oh. That must have been one massive pool of blood. Never seen anything like it. I'm not a professional. What's your opinion, Detective? Pale blue blood. Maybe Detective Goodman was actually an alien? My sweet himbo. This proves that something really happened in front of this locker. Yeah, someone came real hard. I'll make a note of it on the floor plans. Hey! If you don't want my opinion, you shouldn't have asked. I want to see if there's any more blood. Bloody handprint. I knew it. This is someone's right handprint.
What? What's the matter, detective? This locker. It's mine.
It's yours? Gumshoe's the criminal.
Please. You have to help me when they come to take me away. Promise you'll testify that I wouldn't harm a fly.
Oh, you wouldn't. You're a sweetheart.
You'll do that for me, won't you, pals?
This is an important clue. I'll jot it down on the floor plans. Worth noting, that cannot be from Officer Meekin's injury. His left hand was hurt. We've just basically cleared Meekin's. Unfortunately, Lana Sky's right hand was hurt, so we haven't cleared her. What? But you're a detective. I'm guessing that's about everything for the blood. What's this? Blood? It's a little worn, but there's definitely a handprint here. Looks like someone tried to wipe it off. Mr. Wright, what if there are other bloodstains left in the room? Have I not already done that? Wow, someone must have broken something big to make all these pieces. Detective Gumshoe, perhaps?
There you go, pal. Making me out to be some sort of hooligan. That's apparently from the case.
The case?
The SL9 incident, pal. See the sticker on one of the pieces there?
Another piece of SL9 evidence. I wonder what shape these pieces were in before whatever it was broke. You want to try put it back together?
Ah, good luck, pal. That's no job for amateurs. Why, I spent a good 3 hours on that before I had to give up.
That's why I always carry around a tube of glue. Well, this piece looks like the bottom. Let's try putting the rest in place. No, Stitch! Can I turn things at all? I can. This does not seem to be the right piece. I want more jaggedies than this piece is giving me. Heck! No? How do I actually combine? Oh, okay. I don't know what button it would be. Like a going mouse and keyboard, I don't know what it would be. But it's apparently E on keyboard. That almost looks right. But I don't think it quite is. Nope. I think it will actually be this piece. No. There we go. This is much bigger than I thought it was going to be. If I'm being completely honest. No. There we go. No, heck. Yeah, that looks about right. Oh ho ho! But there is a missing piece. Huh? I think we did it, but some of the pieces are missing.
Yeah, I got that far too, in 2 minutes myself. The problem is finishing it.
Were some pieces stolen? I bet they were missing to begin with.
Still, doesn't look like the most stable kind of jar.
No, it really doesn't. Kind of understand how it got broken. Someone left a glove here, but only one. Detective Gumshoe, maybe? Why do you assume the worst of him?
There you go, pal. Making me out to be some kind of absent-minded detective. That's evidence from the case, you know?
You mean SL9? It does have a tag on it. Again, there's a lot of weird similarities here. Like the rubber gloves that were used in both. Yeah, Stitch likes to do a seppuku sometimes. Look, this one's open. And the red indicator light above the door is lit.
That locker is coated with Detective Goodman's fingerprints.
Detective Goodman's locker? Are you sure it's okay to leave it open like that?
Well, it'd be hard to get it open again if we closed it.
It's empty. They must have taken the contents elsewhere. You put these pieces together, it makes a jar. There are two things that bother me. One, why are some of the pieces missing? Two, doesn't it seem a little unstable? No wonder it broke. I'll make sure to remember that next time I make a jar. No, the blue paint I haven't examined yet. What is the sew and paint doing here?
Since the dawn of time, true art has always been a war against depression.
True art? I noticed that there's blue and yellow paint here. Perhaps we're witnessing the birthplace of the Blue Badger.
Well, you might say this is my studio.
Here, in the evidence room?
Oh. Well, that's what the blue paint was for, Shadow Mage.
This place is stuffed with evidence. Stuffed with dreams. I'm not so sure about the dreams. It won't open. Did you really think it would?
Hey, pal. Our security is high-tech around here.
Blue. I've looked at that. Wow. Look at this big pile of junk in the corner. That looks like a car door. There's a pair of handcuffs attached to the frame. Maybe the guy they caught was some sort of escape artist and he got away. Hey, that's one of those human profiles for range testing. He's been shot square in the forehead. Better him than us. Some sort of bulky equipment is gathering dust here. Yeah, including a metal detector and a fishing rod, which we previously used. Oh, Bubbles, you're right! It is man-door hand hook car door. What a sorry-looking fishing pole this is.
Ah! That's my personal pole. I never did get around to using it.
Wait, I've seen that somewhere before.
Right, pal. That's the metal detector. The one that led to the solving of that case out on Gourd Lake, remember?
Right. Wow, that feels like it was ages ago.
Josh!
And I don't think I've seen this one before.
Oh, that's a bug sweeper. I'm sure it'll come in handy in solving some case sooner or later.
That cheap-looking box?
You can't judge a person or a machine by their cover. You gotta look at their heart.
So, Detective Gumshoe, your boss for the day?
That's right, it's an honor. After all, the murder took place right here in the police department.
But if you're boss, why are you all alone? Where are your underlings?
They're using yesterday's findings to prepare for tomorrow's trial.
In other words, you got kicked out of the investigation again.
I'm adamant, though. I'm going to take control and put this case to rest. In my own evidence locker, pal.
You have a locker in here too, Detective Gumshoe.
Aha, of course. I am a detective, after all. They gave me a locker that only I can open, pal.
Only you can open?
This place is more high-tech than you might think. Every locker is fixed so that only one detective can open it.
Bubbles, why did you just directly copy my BTTV comment? I'm so confused. Using their ID cards?
Well, that's the thing, pal. ID cards can be lost. Why, I'm on my 3rd card since entering the force already.
That seems unsafe. That sounds like a lot.
Yeah, but even I can't lose my own right hand.
Right hand? Oh, you mean your fingerprint?
Exactly, pal. That lock for each locker is coated with the fingerprint.
Ow! Why the fucking beeps all the time?
So the only locker we can open is our own.
Whomst is that lady? Oh ho ho! Gumshoe, you didn't tell us you had a lady. Funny, they look like normal lockers.
These are the latest model. There's a trick to the handles, see?
The handles?
On the other side of the handles is a sensor, and if the wrong person touches it, zap! You get a shock. If that's what happened, my hand would be black and smoking every day. In any case, the locks aren't that obvious. There are even some people on the force that don't know about the fingerprint locks.
It's interesting that that's a piece of evidence.
I'll always believe in Mr. Edgeworth, no matter what happens.
So, Mr. Edgeworth is with the inquiry committee right now?
They're trying to figure out who's responsible for the mess up in court today.
I see.
I guess this is what you call fate. Mr. Edgeworth just can't get away from that case.
That case?
Yeah, that case. The SL9 incident, of course. That was the beginning of the end for Mr. Edgeworth.
Maybe we can get him to tell us more about the case. Ah, but if only we had some evidence that directly linked to SL9.
Detective Goodman's note, and that switchblade knife. I bet Edgeworth was the most surprised of anyone.
Because of the SL9 connection?
That was Mr. Edgeworth's first big case, you know, 2 years ago. That was the first time the world knew Edgeworth was a man to be feared.
But why would evidence from that case turn up now?
Guess it's not over, pal. Maybe there are some loose ends left on that case. Now that was a bloody violent case.
Violent? So it was a murder?
A serial killing?
Interesting. Maybe I don't want to get involved in this after all.
But the killer made a mistake, and Mr. Edgeworth built his case around that to nab him.
And this was 2 years ago?
I put Mr. Edgeworth right in the spotlight. Started the rumor mill.
Rumors about forged evidence?
It was supposed to be all cleaned up with the transferal the other day. It was the last job he ever did. Detective Goodman, that is.
Huh? What do you mean?
Detective Goodman was the detective in charge of the SL9 incident, see?
So that switchblade knife. The victim took the knife out of the evidence locker himself? Interesting. Very interesting, in fact. Heck. I feel like I'm missing something. Sorry, I'm just going to admit I was checking a walkthrough because it's very easy to miss a tiny thing in these games. And apparently, I already did. In spite of the fact that I sprayed this. Yeah, I sprayed the cloth, but not the locker. Why am I getting a reaction here? There's no reason for the murderer to touch this spot if he fled out the door. This just might be something significant. Hey, that's some pretty amazing stuff you got there, pal. What, this? It's called luminol testing fluid. Where'd you get your hands on that? Huh? Like to get some too. I'll just borrow $50 from the chief. Where did you get this, Emma? I always buy it by mail order. Well, I'd better jot this down on the floor plans. And then, I actually missed something when chatting to Marshall. Well, here's the thing, Shadow Mage. It's not Meekley's hand. Meekley's left hand was injured, not his right. Apparently, if I show him the ID card, it'll matter. See this? This is the victim's ID card. Ah, the one that was on the ground in the parking lot. The number on this is 5842189. Officer Marshall, show us that ID card record again. Look, the fourth number. It's a perfect match. It was used at 5:14, right before the stabbing. What's more, there's only one of them cards in the world. So, when the incident occurred, Detective Goodman was in the evidence room. But wait, what did Officer Meekin say? Sir, I entered the evidence room and asked the man to display his ID card. So he asked Detective Goodman to show his ID card? What did he do? That's the thing! Suddenly he pointed a knife at me! If he had his ID card then, why would he have pointed a knife at Officer Meekins? Alright, compadre, you win. I guess I can give you this ID card record. I've got an idea. Maybe I should show this list to other people with IDs here. Well, you're a detective. What do you think of this? Oh, we're trying to fill in the names. Clever. Did you take a look at this? This is the ID card record of the people who came in here on the day of the stabbing. Ah, I heard the rumors. So it was Goodman. Whoa! What is it? That second number! It's not your ID, is it, Detective Gumshoe? Mr. Edgeworth! Oh, that's not fantastic. What? Second number on this list belongs to Mr. Edgeworth. What?
Why would Edgeworth have come to the evidence room? Hey, pal, look at the time. Was there something you needed to be going to? Oh, no, that's Phoenix. Was there something you needed to be going to? It's just that Mr. Edgeworth's inquiry committee should be letting out soon. I'm gonna go give them my report for the day. That's a restaurant menu? It might help, you know. Report? You mean the note written on the back of that flyer? The one that says nothing but no problems? Hey, it's Mr. Edgeworth we're talking about. I'm sure he can use a report like this. I believe in him. Who needs enemies when you've got friends like Detective Gumshoe? I'm off, pal. Later. I should probably see what Edgeworth has to say, too. And that is a perfectly reasonable, I think, stopping point. Because I've been streaming for more than 3 hours now, which is my normal time. So that's where I'm going to leave off. And I am going to say thank you all for being here. Wait, really, Bubbles? I don't remember that character. Anyway, thank you all so much for being here. This game remains so much fun. It is one of my favorites. It's so dumb and I adore it. Who should we raid? Barry's live. Oh, Scaredy is still live. So is Pulsar. I know Pulsar is still kind of small. I don't even know if they've hit affiliate yet. But any other suggestions for who to raid? You also cute, Nikki. I'm thinking if nobody has any suggestions, I'd like to raid Scaredy. Because Scaredy's very rarely still live when I finish. So yeah. We're gonna raid Scaredy. Thank you so much for joining me. I have had so much fun with this. And it is coming back next week, Sunday, at 2:30 Eastern, as it always does. My next stream will be Wednesday at 5:30 Eastern Time, where I'm going to be starting my Pokemon Black Randomizer Nuzlocke, which I hope is going to be fun. I hope to see you all there. I hope you have a wonderful afternoon or time zone going forward. And I will see you all around. Have a good one. Ciao.